Oh,
So this is it, guys. This is the end of the term for all you Euphoria people. It's a long road.
it is. And we've got 30 seconds.
And then we leave the building. We're like Fraser.
Oh, that's the longest 30 seconds. My God. There it is, 9 o'clock. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. We'll have a moment of reflection, please. Thank you. Disclosure of pecuniary interest. Seeing none. No public meetings, no presentations, consent agenda. Is there anything that council would like to pull?
Yes, I would.
Councillor Brennan.
F21, please.
F21. Any others? Councillor Cox.
F2.2, please.
F2.2. Any others?
Sorry, I've got my cards.
Okay, Madam Clerk, do we have a motion?
Certainly. Motion reads that the special agenda be adopted with the exception of agenda items number F2.1 and F2.2.
Thank you. Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Stevens, second by Councillor McIntyre. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Reports from officials, new business. Councillor Brennan, training request on annexation process.
Thank you. Just 1 second here. I'll just go through, basically, we do anticipate the intensification report. I'm assuming everyone knows what we're talking about here, but if not, by all means, ask questions. Will be before Aurelia's new council this winter, whenever winter is for Aurelia Council. In anticipation of that happening, Severn Council should be educated on annexation legislation, annexation processes, and potential impacts to the township, as well as some sort of history of how annexation has worked in other jurisdictions. And there are some examples out there I have a bit of background on, but certainly not what I would call a legal or heavy planning perspective. But it would be good to know. At the end of the day, as I understand the annexation process, you have to have a win-win for the city of Aurelia. You have to have a win-win for Severn, and of course the province has to be happy. So this gets complicated. And I do believe the annexation is probably the second most important issue facing us today after Bill 23. It'll have fundamental impacts on our budgets, on our planning, and on the residents of any area that's to be annexed, as well as our ability to pay for things. So I'm asking for the following motion to be adopted. Be it resolved that the township lawyer on any potential annexation processes, and his name is there, it's Airden Burles is our lawyer, be asked to provide an education session to council on annexation legislation, processes, and potential impacts to the township, as well as some of the history of other annexation outcomes throughout the province at their earliest availability. You know, we may have to start dealing with this as early as January, one way or the other. So that is what I am proposing in a motion. And I don't know if you want to discuss that at this point, or
Member Brennan, as I don't have your motion, if I could simplify that just for the sake of actually being able to put that in the minutes.
Oh, fantastic.
Because that would be just quite simple, that staff be directed to arrange for council training on the annexation process for education purposes.
Thank you. Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, thank you.
Any further comments? Madam Clerk, do you have a motion?
Motion just reads that staff be directed to arrange for council training on the annexation process for education purposes.
Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Brennan, second by Councillor McIntyre. All in favor?
Too bad.
Carried.
Quickly, we sent an email to
Jamie, you're not muted.
last week.
Someone is not muted here. Give me a second.
Jamie. Jamie.
There we go. Got him. Sorry about that, council.
Do we do the bylaws after we do 2.1 and 2.2? Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
Correct.
Okay, we'll go back to 2.1, Councillor Cox. Oh, no,
No.
sorry, Councillor Brennan.
That was Councillor Brennan.
Councillor Brennan, sorry.
Thank you, Mayor. Through you to the council. I just wanted to pull this out because even though the Greenbelt is not part of Severn Township, it's a critical decision process affecting planning in the province of Ontario. And of course, the Greenbelt is a provincial entity. Just, it's interesting, the closing date for this particular aspect of the new more housing stuff is December 4th. And I just wanted to point out a couple of things because the correspondence is quite deceiving. And I just wanted to make a couple of points that I think are important for council to understand. So basically the Doug Ford government announced it's planning to turn over 7,400 acres of Greenbelt to developers after repeatedly promising not to do so. There are thousands of acres of land in the Greater Toronto area that are already for development. And I just want to quote because they keep citing the need for housing. And sometimes they actually are blatantly talking about affordable housing, which is very questionable in any of this agenda. But just this one quote from the Ontario Housing Affordability Task Force that was noted in February. A shortage of land isn't the cause of the problem. Land is available both inside the existing built-up areas and on undeveloped land outside greenbelts. Adding, greenbelts and other environmentally sensitive areas must be protected, and farms provide food and food security. Relying too heavily on undeveloped land would whittle away too much of the already small share of land devoted to agriculture. That is a true perspective of what this is all about. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments? Madam Clerk, do you have a motion to receive it for information? Oh, Councillor Cox, did you want to say something? Sorry.
Well, I just wondered, they aren't asking us for any opinions at this time, are they? Or are they just, thank you. Okay, carry on. Thank you.
Well, correction there, they're asking for input by December 4th. It occurred to me that we wouldn't, it's not really within our geographical mandate to worry about that. I just wanted to point out that it's the precursor for what we'll have to deal with, presumably next month, based on the deadlines for submissions for Bill 23. And they're all using the same package of arguments, all of which are not true. Thank you.
Any further comments? Madam Clerk, do you have a motion?
Thank you, Your Worship. So the motion reads that the correspondence from the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing regarding consultation on proposed Greenbelt changes be received for information.
Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Cox, second by Councillor Stevens. All in favor? It's carried. Thank you. 2.2, Councillor Cox.
Yes, through the chair. It says here, in summary, we are requesting council to make an exception and allow these docks to remain as they are for the lifetime of the docks because they are on our property, right? And we do not allow docks to be attached to our property. So am I wrong in thinking we need to respond to this now and speak to it, or is it coming back? Or because I was afraid if we didn't speak to it, it would just sort of go away.
Adam Cieo.
Thank you. I would recommend through your worship that you refer it back to a staff report so you can
Okay.
review all the different
Thank you.
facets.
Yes.
It's a fairly complicated matter, so I wouldn't suggest council wants to make a decision on it today, but you could certainly refer it back to a staff report.
Thank you very much, Lori. That's what I'd like, is it referred back to a staff report so it's all clear and we can deal with this for them. Thank you.
So Madam CAO, I guess I'll ask Madam Clerk. The letter that was sent to them that they had to have the docks removed on November 14th, they then will be allowed to, or the docks will be allowed to remain there until that staff report comes back and council makes a decision. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, any other discussion? Okay, motion, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. The motion reads that the correspondence from Peninsula Point Road dock owners regarding requests to keep their docks be received and that staff be requested to report back on the matter.
Moved by Councillor McIntyre, second by Councillor Cox. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Moving on to general bylaws. Madam Clerk.
Thank you. The motion reads that bylaws number 2022-62 to 2022-65 inclusive be and are hereby read a first, second, third time and finally passed.
Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Brennan, second by Councillor Taylor. All in favor? That is carried. And confirmation bylaw, Madam Clerk.
Oh, I think you skipped announcements, Your Worship. If
Oh,
you,
sorry. Announcements. Does any member
anybody has any?
have Councillor Cox?
Yes, I would just like to take this opportunity to invite council to the Santa Claus Parade. The first one is Saturday, December 3rd in Coldwater at 5:30. And the second one is Saturday, December the 10th at 6:30 in Washago. Thank you.
Any other announcements? So I guess this is our last meeting for this council. So I just would like to say on behalf of myself, it has been a pleasure working with all of you for the last 4 years. And for those that are not returning, I want to thank you very much for your service these last 4 years and the camaraderie that we've had. And I look forward to the new council and the members that are here today. So thank you very much, everyone.
Yes, thank you very much.
Madam Clerk, you move on to confirmation bylaw. Do you have a motion?
Absolutely. So the motion reads that bylaw number 2022-66 be and is hereby read a first, second, third time and finally passed.
Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Stevens, second by Councillor Cox. All in favor? It's carried. 12-minute council meeting. Adjournment, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Motion reads just that this meeting be and is hereby now adjourned at 9:12 a.m.
Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Taylor, second by Councillor Stevens. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Have a
all
great
later
day.
for
Oh, we'll
your
see you
photos.
later.